The human brain is a true labyrinth, fascinating and mysterious. Every day, it guides our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, often without us being aware of it. But how does it really work? Today, let's dive together into the captivating world of psychology through experiments that have uncovered hidden aspects of our minds and our reactions. Get ready to discover what lies behind our most mundane, and sometimes strange, actions. In 1961, Stanley Milgram wanted to understand how far individuals were willing to go in blind obedience to orders from an authority figure, even if it meant inflicting pain on another human being. Volunteers were recruited to participate in a study on memory and learning. The subjects arrived in pairs to carry out the experiment. One person played the role of the learner, strapped to a chair, and had to find the correct answer from a list of words to memorize in 1 minute. To his left was an electric shock device that would punish him for every mistake. The second person played the role of the teacher, seated in another room, and was responsible for reading the questions and administering the shocks. In reality, no shock was ever delivered, and the learner was actually an actor, with fake cries coming from a speaker. The aim was to understand how far the teacher would go in following orders. If a teacher expressed the desire to stop the experiment, the organizer would respond, "Please continue. The experiment requires that you continue. It is absolutely essential that you continue. You have no choice, you must continue." The results of the experiment stunned the researchers. 62% of the teachers administered the ultimate shocks under pressure from the orders, even though they could hear the screams of pain. This demonstrated that individuals could commit the worst atrocities if they believed the authority giving the orders was legitimate. In 1972, at Stanford University, Professor Walter Mischel conducted the marshmallow experiment. Children were seated on a chair with a plate in front of them. On the plate was a tempting marshmallow they could eat at any time. However, they were told they could have 2 marshmallows if they waited for the experimenter to return. As you can imagine, the test was designed to explore our willpower and self-control. Out of 500 children, only 1/3 were able to resist the temptation. More interestingly, after following these children for 3 decades, the team concluded that those who practiced self-control fared better in life, they had better academic results, used fewer hard drugs, and had better health. This experiment highlighted the benefits of self-control and the ability to delay immediate gratification for future rewards. The Prisoner's Dilemma is an experiment in game theory that explores cooperation and betrayal in situations where trust is uncertain. Imagine 2 criminals who are arrested and interrogated separately. They have the choice to betray each other or remain silent. If both remain silent, they receive a light sentence. If one betrays the other, the betrayer goes free while the other gets a heavy sentence. But if both betray each other, they both receive a severe punishment. What this experiment reveals is that in competitive situations, even when cooperation would benefit everyone, the fear of being exploited can push us to act selfishly. It's a lesson in the complexity of human decision-making, especially in negotiations and conflicts. In 1951, Solomon Asch conducted an experiment on conformity that demonstrated how strongly people are influenced by the majority opinion, even when it is clearly incorrect. Participants were asked to identify the line on the left that matched the length of one of the lines on the right. At first glance, this seemed easy, and the success rate in normal conditions was over 99%. But actors were added to the experiment to see if giving false answers would influence the real participants' opinions. The results became much more interesting. After being influenced by the actors, more than 30% of the real participants managed to get the answer wrong. After discussing with the participants, the team identified 3 types of responses. Some subjects were genuinely convinced they had always given the correct answer, others admitted they had been persuaded by the unanimous opinion of the group, and some had the correct answer but didn't want to stand out from the group. This experiment revealed the power of social conformity and how easily we can be influenced by others, even at the expense of our own judgment. The bystander effect gets its name from a disturbing story that occurred in the 1960s in the US. On the night of March 13, 1964, around 3 a.m., Kitty Genovese, a young waitress, was returning home when she was stabbed and raped at the foot of her building in Queens, New York. The attack happened several times, as the attacker had time to leave and come back. Despite 38 witnesses observing the scene, none of them helped Kitty. A series of experiments later revealed that the more witnesses there are to an incident, the less likely someone is to intervene to help. Everyone waits for someone else to act, assuming that someone else will take the initiative. This experiment highlights a troubling aspect of human nature, our tendency to shift responsibility in a group setting. Discovered by Edward Thorndike in the 1920s, the halo effect is a cognitive bias that influences how we perceive others. It's our tendency to assign positive or negative qualities to a person based on just one characteristic, such as their appearance. In 1946, Solomon Asch conducted an experiment where participants were shown a series of photographs of individuals and asked to rate them on various personality traits. The photos were of the same person, either attractive or unattractive. Participants consistently assigned more positive personality traits to the attractive individuals, revealing a clear halo effect. Traits such as intelligence, kindness, and social skills were attributed to attractive individuals, while less favorable traits were assigned to those who were less attractive. The opposite also exists, known as the Horn effect, which is the tendency to overlook a person's positive qualities due to a general negative impression or specific flaws, leading to biased judgments and evaluations. Thank you for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. You can also subscribe so you don't miss out on our upcoming explorations. Take care and see you next time. Ciao.